Hey, I'm here today to talk about some of my faith and my beliefs. And as a lot of people know, I'm Christian, and if this video is going to offend any of you, please refrain from watching it because I don't want to offend anyone. But a lot of the times I hear people say that they've had bad experience with Christians or people that say that they're Christian, because they're very judgmental and they're very persecuting and just very mean and wrong. And I can definitely see why people would not want to be Christians if that's all they got from Christian people or people who say they're Christian. Because why would you want to be like somebody who's extremely mean and just wrong and morally inept? I totally get them there. But I just wanted to put a little bit out there as far as, what I say and what the Bible has to say, God's Word. If you don't want to hear it, I totally understand, because, sometimes during sermons, even Christian people just be like, and just kind of nod off for a bit. But if you'll bear with me, I'll try and be brief. If you flip open the Bible and you go to the book Matthew, close to the back, if you look in chapter 23, it should have it in written bigger and everything. It starts right off, and it'll probably be labeled with something like the 7 woes. And it says this. Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. So you must obey them and do everything they tell you. But do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. They tie up heavy loads and put them on men's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them." Pharisees were the dudes back then who said that they were awesome because they believed in God. And anybody who didn't believe in God, well, they gave them a lot of trouble. Just like those people that a lot of people have had experience with. Jesus was telling the crowds of people and to the dudes who followed him, he was like, man, those people who preach God's word, listen to what they say about God's word. But the people themselves, a lot of the things that they do are kind of messed up, because they're not perfect. So don't follow them, but rather follow God's word, because that's what you need to be focusing on. They will do things like lift loads and put them on men's shoulders and make them do labor, but they won't help them at all. So basically, they're just as messed up as any next guy, so don't worry if they try and give you a lot of crap. It says, everything they do is done for men to see. They make their... You'll have to hold on with me because I have to pronounce some of these things. They make their phylacteries and wide, and the tassels on their garments long, so they dress up really fancy, basically. They love the place of honor at banquets and the most important seats in the synagogues. So, they get all dressed up and fancy. They go to the best places in the place to worship God. And for them, that would be the synagogues. It says, they love to be greeted in the marketplaces and to have men call them rabbi. But you are not to be called rabbi, for you only have one master, and you are all brothers. And do not call anyone on earth father. You have one Father, and he is in heaven. So basically, don't try and put anybody in the position where they're God, because there's only one God, and he's up there, not on earth. Nor are you to be called teacher, for you have one teacher, Christ. So don't sit there and try and say that you're the one to learn from because you're awesome. Because you may be pretty cool, but the only one who's top-notch awesome is, God himself and his son. It says, the greatest among you will be your servant. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. So, the greatest among you will be your servant. He's saying, Jesus Christ, even though he's awesome, he still served us by dying for all of us, so we wouldn't have to go to hell. It says, whoever exalts himself will be humbled. So, whoever tries to lift themselves up and be like, oh, I'm the awesomest, I'm the, whatever, insert here, it says he's gonna be humbled. He's gonna eventually realize he's not so awesome. And whoever humbles himself will be exalted. So whoever tries to humble themselves and be like, okay, you know what? I need to let God be the God of my life and not have me take over all the time. He's gonna be lifted up. I just wanted to say that bit first, because anybody who sees all of this and doesn't get it right away, they need to take another look at what they're trying to preach and make sure that they're getting it right.